And very good morning. Welcome to the Saturday preview with myself, David Massey, coming to you at 8:40 on a Friday morning, which is a little bit unusual. I don't normally do it this early, but I'm going to be on the road for the next 2 days from here on in. I'm off to York in about an hour's time. Shan't be getting back from there till late tonight, and then by the time I've had something to eat, and I'm going to be absolutely done in. So it'll be bed, and then I'm up again early in the morning to get to Newmarket for GOI Corp Day. So I've got 2 days on the road. It's going to be a bit of a squeeze to get the video in, so I thought we'd get it done now because we know what the decks are. We know pretty much what the ground's going to be. There might be the odd shower sort of here and there, but it's not going to really be affecting the ground. And it's, I was at Newmarket yesterday and you've seen 2-track records go. It is lightning quick at Newmarket this week. And we'll start with Newmarket actually. Now, we're in good shape. Those of you that read the punt every day, we're in pretty good shape. We've got a fun Saturday coming up anyway because we've got 3 anti-post selections and all of which made the cut. He's forgetting now. We've got Ropey Guest, who we bet at 33s for the superlative, and that's still a price at 25s. By the way, there's 25s around this morning. The worry now is if you're going to back it now that the dead 8 hold up. So I think it might be a case of if you still want to get on board, you might just have to take sort of 20 to 1 about it nearer the off 16s. Which is more of its price, to be fair, but at least you're going to get the dead 8 if you're going to back it each way. So it's just, I think if you're not on Ropey Guest, although I think the price is still very fair, I think it's probably best you hold back now. Wait till nearer the off. We've also got Rip Off in the Bunbury Cup. I didn't think would make it. There's actually made it quite easily. I can see 1 or 2 of the old paid tipsters cottoning onto him a bit later on today. I think he goes off around about a 12 to 1 chance tomorrow, and we should be on at, I think, 25s. I think we bet it out on Tuesday. And we've also got Fairyland in the July Cup, a horse I like a lot, Fairyland. There's definitely a good sprint in Fairyland this year. And as I said on Tuesday, she gets the allowances here. She gets that 6th furlong, which I think we'll see her take a step forward. I think she'll improve a little bit for that. She was desperate for it at Ascot. I'm going to add another one in. In fact, I'm going to add 2 more to the Newmarket list. Given we've already had those, we can, and we're on the right side of them. I'm going to put in for the Bunbury Cup. I'm going to put Burnt Sugar in, last year's winner, who hasn't impressed so far this season, but he's had 2 runs on ground that's completely unsuitable for him. He has to have quick ground to show his best. What he needs is a well-run 7 furlong handicap on fast ground, and he's going to get that tomorrow for the first time this season. His task is a little bit harder than last year. He's £3 higher than he was, but he did win off £2 lower the time after. He won at Ascot at the time after another big handicap, where remarkably, despite the fact he'd won the Bunbury Cup, he went off a 25 to 1 chance for it, and it was one of those where you sort of like looked afterwards and thought, how would we let that go off 25 to 1? So he tends to come good this time of the year. I think he's got a lot going for him. He's drawn. I mean, he is a hold-up horse, but he's drawn near the front-running Vale of Kent. There's going to be like 2 pockets of pace as far as I can see, and one of them will surround Vale of Kent. He's drawn near enough to him to get a toe into the race. There should be some pace. I can see him coming through late. I think he'll go close to repeating last year's win. So Rip Off, we've already bet. I'm going to add Burnt Sugar into him. And for the July Cup. Now, I went through the race again last night, and I'm probably going mad. Probably lost the plot completely. But I do think you can make a case for Major Jumbo at a huge price. A huge price. I say huge, he's 33. That's the minimum I'd want to take about him. I'm hoping he'll drift a little bit tonight when the prices come out and there's some 50s kicking around. And maybe even 1 or 2 of the firms will go 4 places. I don't know. We'll see. With it being, one of the big races of the day. I just wonder whether 1 or 2 of the firms will be brave and go 4 places. They may well do. If they do, then I'll be a bit more interested in Major Jumbo. When you look at what he's done this season, it's not bad, and it really isn't as far away from the likes of the form that the likes of advertisers have shown as you think it is. I mean, advertisers putting at 3s and you can get 11 times the price for Major Jumbo. Look at what he's done this season. Twice he's finished second to Invincible Army, got beaten 2 lengths in the Cammage at Doncaster and in the Duke of York by him. And in between that, got beat 2 lengths by Mabs Cross in the Palace House at Newmarket. All of that is good form. This is and look. This is a quick horse. He is a fast horse, Major Jumbo. He will lead these, whatever. He will lead these from stall 6, and on this lightning quick ground, he might just take a little bit of pegging back. The probability is something will get to him at the furlong pole. Will get there late, but he does fight. He does fight for pressure as well, and I could see him finishing in the frame at worst. And maybe if you can slip him, there's an upset on the card. You quite often get a big price one in the frame for this. Over the years, there's been quite a few. I'd say 33s is the minimum. I think I'd want about Major Jumbo because he is stepping up to Group 1 company. We know he's all right in Group 2 company, and he's probably a Group 3 horse. So he is stepping up. But even so, I think he's got enough going for him tomorrow to, at worst, have a second look about. And if there are some big prices kicking around for him tonight and tomorrow morning, I think he's of some interest. So I'll, as I say, once I put my bets up tomorrow morning, let's see what happens tonight. Let's see what the firms go. I think that's the key. Away from Newmarket, there's not that much that interests me. The 145 at Ascot is a big sprint handicap, 5 furlong handicap here, where I think, I mean, had it been a 6 furlong race, I think Growl would have definitely been the pick. Back to form at York, second to Gulliver on a very good mark on old form and old historical form. I've just written Goodwood, ? Stewards Cup. Is this just sort of keeping him ticking over, ready for Goodwood, where, he's got loads of form and was placed in the Stewards Cup last year? I think he might have been third to Gifted Master. I think this might just be a keeping him on the boil race, as it were, ready for Goodwood. I can see him finishing off his race well, but probably just a bit too late. There's a case to be made, I think, for Watchable making all the running. There's not that much pace on here. Stall 17, Watchable, just blew out a little bit last time in the Wokingham, finished midfield, didn't run badly, sort of led them and then weakened in the latter stages. Last sort of half furlong, he'd done enough by that point. This is a little bit easier, a little bit. I think stall 17 might be where you want to be. I think that side might be where you want to be. I mean, he'd won his previous 2 starts. He was in good form. It may be that the handicappers now got him and he's caught up with him, but there is a case to be made on very quick ground that he could make all. Similarly, Cody Time as well, who I put up at York last time on seasonal debut, ran well there, 5th to Duke of Firenze, got beaten 2 lengths and nailed a bit of each way money for us that was taking the 5 places. Cody Time completely lost his form at the end of last year. He might be a horse that's to catch first time, second time, as he did last year, and then sort of forget about him. So with that in mind, he might just come on a touch for that first run, but I wouldn't want to be backing him after today. You can definitely give Cody Time a squeak on form. But the one I'm going to go with, I think, my main selection for the race is going to be Royal Birth, who is a horse, he's a frustrating sort, Royal Birth. I never get him right, when that's the worry again tomorrow that I'm going to get him wrong. But he doesn't run much on turf these days. He tends to stick to sand surfaces, the artificial surfaces. But it's worth sort of mentioning that what I think I've always said, what Royal Birth wants is an end-to-end 5 furlong sprint on quick ground on a straight track, and he gets that tomorrow. In fact, his sort of Ascot record backs that up a bit. He's had 4 goes at Ascot, and his record reads 1st, 3rd, 2nd, nowhere. So he's clearly capable here. He's got his ground, and he is drawn in 18, so he's bang next to Watchable. So he's going to get a toe into the race. There will be some pace on that side, and he's definitely going to get a toe. Now, it's a case of whether the breaks come for him, because he'll be right out back at halfway. If the breaks come, see him coming through late from 18, I think he's got at worst frame chances. And if it drops right for him, I think he could just cop the lot tomorrow. He's on a very nice mark. He's on a mark of 86, which compared to his exploits on sand is very, very workable, I think. So I think Royal Birth, for me in that sprint at Ascot, is definitely worth a look. And over at York, no bets, I don't think. Just a couple to mention, really. The Silver Cup over a mile 6 at 2:40. I am a big fan of Weekender. I went with him a couple of times last season, and in the Ebor itself. I had hopes of him at one point, develop into a real group performer and possibly even be. I thought he might be a Gold Cup horse at one stage because he just looked a little bit paceless over a mile and a half and what have you. But the Ebor bought the best out of him last year, and he ran a cracker there. The market's already found him. He's a 5-2 chance for this, but I do think he's got a very good chance of outclassing this lot. And in the 3:15, I thought Massam Star. This is a mile handicap, by the way, the 3:15. I thought Massam Star had a good chance of winning this from the front. There's no other pacemaker, no other obvious pacemakers I can see in the race. And I think Massam Star likely to get an easy lead. He's never won at York, but he's had 4 goes here and he's been placed 3 times, so he acts on the track absolutely fine. Ground will be ideal for him. He's still on a fair mark, I think. So I thought Massam Star had a chance of making it, but they'll both be, as I say, Weekend and Massam Star both be sort of reasonably short. For those of you that like a win bet, I think they're probably worth a look, but they're not going to be sort of my sort of each way prices that we play at on the punt on a Saturday. The best bet tomorrow, I'm really, I'm so hopeful that Ropey Guest runs a good race in that Superlative. I'm sure later on today, when the professionals cotton on to the fact that you can back the best horse in the race on form and on speed figures at 25-1 in a dead each way race, one or two of them are going to start putting Ropey Guest up, I'm sure. Yeah, as I said in the week, there are others in there that are going to improve, but there's no saying that Ropey Guest isn't going to improve for a 7th furlong as well. So, I'm not, you can't sort of look at that as an excuse for not backing him and saying, well, something's going to improve past him. He might improve himself yet. He's only had 3 starts when all's said and done, and taken a big step forward on each of those. So, I'm really, really hopeful that we can get a good run out of Ropey Guest. And if we do, as I say, we've had big prices earlier on in the week. Thank you very much then, guys, for listening. I'll be back on Tuesday. Cheers.